Then we did what does perimenopause do to neurodivergent women in relationships? And I thought that one was really powerful too, because we don't talk about, sometimes you hear in the zeitgeist about like meno divorce, right? Which is like a fancy word of saying like midlife divorces that happen, or, relationships change in midlife, and you could have been with someone for 20 years and things are different. But we talked about that. We talked about also how that's different also for neurodivergence. And we did something that I think is really powerful. We talked about what happens when the mask comes off, what happens to your relationships when the mask comes off and you finally are able to be the person who you really are, the person that isn't masking anymore. Because sometimes just because you can't, right? Physically, right? We talk about why dopamine and estrogen and testosterone and all those things, but also what happens to your relationships? Who are you and what happens and how do you work through that? And how do you say to someone that maybe you've been with for 15, 20 years, like, you don't think this is me, but this is the real me, right? This is the me I've been masking for all of those years.